my mother decided we needed to move. So we moved to Milwaukee. Long story short, I got to Milwaukee. My grades got screwed around. They came to me with 6 weeks left in my senior year and told me that I was going to be a half a credit short of English. So I had to go to summer school to graduate. All of these things just kept tying into me and my drug usage. And then around the age of 20, I got introduced to cocaine, snorted it, didn't like it, really didn't mess with it. Unfortunately, in 1984, my brother introduced me to what was then called freebasing, where you cook the cocaine and then you smoke it. That what really turned my life around was because from 1984, that year, was the first year I also had my interaction with the racing police department. I was caught in a raid and I was sent to county jail. I spent a day or two there. I got out and I was supposed to do treatment and I didn't. So my life just kind of kept spinning out of control, but it still was manageable. And then in 1988, I decided that I needed to go to treatment. So I went to the OA Center. I did a 30-day program there, and everything seemed to be okay, except that instead of focusing on myself, I focused on a lot of other things while I was in treatment. So it didn't really help me. And I got out, and for the next 11 years, my life basically spun out of control. I could barely keep a job. At one time, I was homeless, and I was really on the brink of suicide. I was ready to give up. My life had definitely went in a direction that I didn't plan on it going. And somehow, I started to really feel hopeless. And in 1999, in March, I was in Milwaukee, and I was with a young lady, and we got caught for doing drugs. And I was arrested, and I had to go to court, and city of Milwaukee sentenced me to 4 months in the House of Correction, and but they didn't offer me any treatment. They just said, here, go to jail. And that's a lot of times what happens. People get sent to jail, but then they don't get the treatment that they need, right? So I get out, and I start messing up again. And on November 17th, I met some guys, and we went off, and for the next 2 days, I was up smoking crack cocaine and ripping and running through the city of Racine until finally I really felt like taking my own life. So I came up with this idea that this guy had sold me, well, he gave me a bunch of cocaine to sell, and he told me to sell this and bring him a certain amount of money back. Well, at that time, I'm a drug addict. Bring you some money back? That wasn't gonna happen. So I ended up using all the drugs. But in that time, I also tried to take my life. And I'm glad that I didn't. And that evening, on November 19th, I left where I was parked at. And I remember just asking God if He would help me to relieve the pain and the things that I had been going through all my life, that I would try to do something different with my life. And I went to my dad's house, and my dad had actually put me out of his house 3 years prior to that because he told me it wasn't that he didn't love me, he just didn't have to watch me kill myself. So he helped me, and what he did was that morning, November 20th, he called some places. He got me in the crisis center. From the crisis center, back then they had 2 different treatments you could go to. Racine County had, and I say a wonderful program because they worked. There was a house called St. Clair House, where you could do residential for 45 days. And then there was the Darren House, which was a halfway house where you could transition after St. Clair House, and you can go there from 3 to 6 months. And I went to St. Clair House for 45 days, and then I went to the Darren House for 3 months. There, I remained. After that, I got out. My dad, I went and stayed with him for a while, and then I started my journey of recovery. But if it were not for the St. Clair House, in the Darren House, I'm not quite sure how things would have turned out for me. But I'm grateful that they have. I was able to return to college, earn my degrees in human services, help people, which I love doing. And from November 20th, 1999 to present day, I have not found it necessary to have a drink of alcohol or use a drug. For that,